Hello YouTube, I am the Communist Messiah. I'm going to do another religion video today, and this time it's going to be about an eternal God. Is he real? Is he inside time and space or outside of it? And if so, does he adhere to the traditional Christian values of God, the attributes? Let's find out. There are three main types of God. The transcendent God, the immanent God, and the personal God. I'll cover each of them in turn. The transcendent God is one that is outside of time and space, and this is the one that is most commonly used by evangelicals and apologetic Christians. They say that God is outside of time and space, which is why we can't observe him. Right. Herein lies my problem. There are two main points in the transcendent God argument, and they are eternalism and branched universe theory. I'll cover eternalism first. Eternalism was thought up by a guy called Parmenides in ancient Greece. He was before Socrates, so he was doing philosophy before it was cool. And he believed in he believed in eternalism. And this basically states that from the dawn of time until the end, if you were to break out of the universe and take a look, all you would see is unmoving events. Every event that has ever happened or will ever happen is in place. It is constantly happening. Right? Now, sorry. The problem I have with this argument is that if we take the traditional Christian attributes of God, which ones stick and which ones don't? Omnipotence, all-powerful. Ability to create a universe and destroy it in a second? Yeah, fair enough, I'm willing to go with omnipotence. Omniscience, if you can see start to end and everything in between, yeah, I'm willing to go with omniscience. Omnibenevolence. No. I'm sorry, no. First of all, no free will. No free will is involved at all in an eternalist universe. Now, your apologetic Christian may argue back with, God sees what decisions we're going to make, but he allows us to make them for ourselves. I'm sorry, no, that's like selling a shirt and saying you can have any colour as long as it's black. No. That's like having a television with 500 channels, but all 500 of them are Nickelodeon. It offers you choice and then immediately takes them all away. Sorry, no. No free will, not an eternalist universe. The next, I'll ask you this question. If you have a baby, what's the first thing you do in your house? I'll tell you. The first thing you do is you cover every corner in foam. You remove all vases and lamps from the corners of tables and things, and you immediately move them to somewhere where the baby can't knock into them and have them fall on top of them. You cover every plug socket so that the baby doesn't electrocute themselves. Essentially, you baby-proof your house so that your baby doesn't kill themselves by wandering around. They're free to wander around the house, by all means, but they don't hurt themselves doing it. God didn't baby-proof the universe, did he? No. He's created this one-track reality, one universe, one timeline, and he didn't baby-proof it, and I don't understand why. An omnibenevolent God would want to make sure that we didn't hurt ourselves. So, why create so many natural disasters and crises and diseases and evil human beings such as Adolf Hitler and Joseph Stalin and Mao Zedong and all of that? Why? And I know I just dissed Stalin and Zedong, but come on, I'm not into that type of communism. I'm into proper communism. But anyway, it makes no sense. It's not omnibenevolent by any stretch of the imagination, and nothing you can argue can change that. Nothing. The other aspect is the branched universe theory, and the branched universe theory, for anyone that's seen Fringe, is simple. I'll give you this example. You have the choice. It's a two-option choice. You can either go to work, or you can stay at home. That's your choice. Go to work, stay home. If you go to work, you could find out that Sarah was late getting into the office and therefore decided to buy everyone donuts to make up for it. You could find the winning lottery ticket on the way home. You could do a bunch of stuff by going to work, but at the same time, that means that you couldn't tidy your house. So your house is still messy by the time you get back, and you're too out of energy to do anything about it. By going to work, you actually closed all of the options that you had by staying at home. But by going to work, you've opened up a whole new set of options. The argument is that depending on which choice we make, it opens up a new universe. So the timeline isn't linear, it's branched. So depending on what decisions we make at various points in our lives, it depends on what our future is going to look like, what reality looks like for us. So what we do is we make our decisions and God can see all the outcomes. And that, again, leaves us with omniscience. Yep, he can see the start and he can see all possible ends. So depending on what choices we make, there we go. And omnipotence, yeah, he's created this many universes. Yeah, I'm willing to go with that. But omnibenevolence, no! Again, no! Because once again, there's no baby proofing. We're still screwed over. Equally, Christians tend to argue against the branched universe theory because there's only one monologue of creation in the Bible, which argues that there is only one God. Plus, if you were to create multiple universes, as the branched universe theory dictates, sort of, for those that don't really get the branched universe theory, it dictates that there are loads of them, that means that there's more than one God, which the Bible says, no, that can't happen. So the branched universe theory doesn't work either. So God can't be transcendent because that eliminates his omnibenevolence. Right, next is the immanent God. The immanent God is the one that is within time and space. Now, omniscience. If he doesn't experience time the same way we do, fair enough. I will accept omniscience. Omnipotence. All-powerful? Yeah, I'll go with that one. It may be limited by time and space, but conceding that he could leave if he wanted to, fair enough. I'll admit, time and space, possibility. Like, you know, omnipotence, yeah, I'll go with that one. But omnibenevolence, again, no! The omnibenevolence of God is completely challenged by the immanent nature. Because if God is all-powerful and all-knowing, then he knows all the suffering could have baby-proofed. Again! Equally, there is this argument that God is within time and space, then every decision we make creates a new version of time and space. Herein lies my problem with that, and it's actually more of a religious issue than my issue, and that means that there is more than one God in lots of different universes, which can't happen, apparently. Because it's in the Bible that there's only one God, and it doesn't matter whether they're in another universe or not. There's only one God. So the universe we got is the only one. And since God is inside that, there aren't any branches to it. So there we go. It's one universe, one track mind. Again, all these disasters, all of these evil people, all of these crises. No omnibenevolence to be seen anywhere. Third one is the personal God, and this is the one that I think is probably the most likely, and it has the most biblical support. Because you can find evidence in the Bible to support and challenge all three of these gods, but this is the one that I think has most support. And the personal God, the best way I can think of to describe it, there was an event in Auschwitz during the Second World War where someone escaped. But of course, the standard punishment for someone escaping was to kill 10 in their stead. And one of the people that was killed was a young boy. So young, in fact, that the Nazis had to get a box for him to stand on so that his head would reach the noose. And someone leaned across to a rabbi and said, "Your God, where is he now?" And the rabbi said, "He is up there with the boy." That kind of God is the personal God. He is part of creation and suffers with us. Biblical support for this shows that he does experience time the same way we do. And that's expressed when God is surprised, when God is disappointed, when God is happy, when God is pleasured. When God is pleased, sorry, not pleasured. Because how would an omniscient being who had seen the future, why would he be surprised by anything? Because he's already seen it coming. So it's the one that Christians tend to have the most challenge dealing with. And that is this idea that God actually does experience time the same way we do. So omnipotence. Yeah, I can go with that one. Not really, since he's affected in the same way by time as we are. So, sort of omnipotence. Mostly omnipotence. Yeah, I'll go with that. Omnibenevolence? For the first time, yes. God is omnibenevolent. God can be all-loving. Because he can care about us, and he can care for us, in this case. Omniscient. No! He's not omniscient if he's personal. The personal God is not omniscient because he experiences time in the same way we do. This is the same thing that sort of limits his omnipotence. So actually, I'm going to revoke what I said earlier. No to the omnipotence. He can't be all-powerful. Events happen. So if he was all-powerful and if they happened, he could alter them. So no, actually, I'm calling that one. No. No omnipotence. So no omnipotence, no omniscience, but yes to the omnibenevolence. Because, yes, he can be all-loving in this instance. And he can still be eternal. Whilst he does experience time the same way we do, he could have been here at the start of time, and he could still be here at the end. It's just, he has to travel through, the same way we do. So, the big issue there, the big issue I have, completely, that everyone has with these, is that none of them actually fit the traditional attributes of God. They all miss something. Two of them miss omnibenevolence, and one of them misses omnipotence and omniscience. So any argument for an eternal God can't be the Christian God. It's not possible. The factors just don't mix up. They don't do it. It doesn't work. So what do you guys think? Can an eternal God actually fit all of the criteria for God? Leave your answer in the comments below or on Facebook. See you later, YouTube.